Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Always a pleasure. It's good to be back. It's great to be back. Please let me know where you're watching us from today. I must apologize. There's been a bit of an issue with some of the groups that we've been in. And I haven't been able to access some of the groups, so I haven't probably shared in all the groups. Had some issues with my WhatsApp number. I think I'm too enthusiastic about blockchain and crypto, so they block the number, they block the business, my business numbers. So I wasn't able to connect with you guys. But it's good to be back. Please do share the stream. Hello, Becky. Good to see you. Good to see you. Please do share the stream wherever you are. Let's share on Facebook, wherever you can, on YouTube. Do share. Let's get a couple of people in, so that we can begin. Hello, Masifan. Good to have you joining us from Germany. It's great to have you aboard. Please do share wherever you are. Let's just give it a few more minutes before we begin. I don't intend to take much of your time this afternoon. So please do share. I intend to have like 30 to 40 minutes of your time. It's busy year, but great year. Great things happening in the background. Great things currently going on. And I hope to be sharing sharing these things with you guys as we work together. Always remember the quote: integrity before profit. Integrity before profit. Always, always. I hope everyone's been having a great year. Do let us know where you're watching from today. It's always good to know where everyone is. I know, hello Rita from Cameroon. Good to have you. We've got good to have you joining us this afternoon. Happy New Year to you. Great work, by the way. I see what you're doing. I am proud. So well done on that. Do let us know. Please do share the stream on Facebook. Let's get people joining in as we carry on. Kazim. Oh, Kazim. Good to see you, brother. It's been a long time, my brother. I hope you've been well. Good to have you join us today. Good to have you joining us. Hello, Bonnie. Good to have you from the US. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Please do share the stream on Facebook. If you share, please do tag me as well. I really appreciate that. This is a great year. It's a great year. Last year, we had a fantastic time. For everyone who has been with me on this journey, last year we had a great year. I want that this year we should have, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the success that we had last year. So we need to pick up the pace. We need to pick up the pace. I like seeing everyone progressing, and so I'm always pushing myself. I always like pushing those around me as well. I'm sure by now you know that. Let's succeed together. Please do let us know where you are. Do share this stream. And so today, I wanted us to discuss, because many of you are in some of the groups that we have, like the Alphaverse group or the Crypto Hodlers group, and some other different groups that we are in together. And with cryptocurrencies going down, some people are panicking. Some of you that I've spoken to have told you just to hold. There is always what we call times and seasons in the crypto market. But like I always caution you. It's good to trade cryptos. It's good to buy and hold cryptos, but there are safer ways. There are less riskier ways of investing in cryptos. Now, unfortunately, some people don't usually believe these things until they see the bloodshed that is actually taking place, around cryptocurrencies, and then they're like, "Oh, say, if I had known, I would probably have done what you asked me to do," and so on and so forth. But these things do happen. I do recommend some of these things just so that people get exposure and not be too carried away by the euphoria surrounding crypto. Crypto can make you a lot of money, but to be honest, it has made many people so much less money. In fact, the smaller investors have made a lot of, they've made more losses often than they would have liked to, that they would like to actually admit, than the bigger investors. And the bigger investors, they invest in crypto or they invest in a blockchain in a less riskier manner than the people that get carried away by the excitement. They hear, oh, Dogecoin, then everybody jumps on the bandwagon of Dogecoin. And the day you're buying your own Dogecoin, the very following day, Dogecoin starts going down. Or the year of Shiba Inu, and you jump on the bandwagon of that. And the day you're buying it, 2 days after, it starts falling, and you're like, is it that you're bringing the bad luck into the market, or what is actually going? So today, the objective is simple. There are 5 different ways. And again, what I'm telling you guys is my personal opinion. What I'm telling you is from my own experience. I don't have any certification as a financial advisor. So this is not financial advice as required by the FCA or the SEC or any other regulatory body. This is not financial advice. What I'm doing here is from my personal opinions, and it's absolutely up to you to take it or not to take it. Okay. I have to make that disclaimer just so that we are very clear. Because oftentimes you don't know who's watching. They say, "Oh, they gave me financial advice." I'm not giving you financial advice, and I'm always very clear as far as that goes. However, as you know, I've got a great amount of experience in this sector. I have a proven track record in this sector, and also I take time to do my research before opening my mouth to speak, so that when I speak, I speak with from a position of knowledge. But I don't have any certification anywhere that says Gerard is certified as a financial advisor. I don't have that. Just so we are very clear on that. Now, that out of the way, today we'll be looking at 5 less risky ways to invest in the blockchain and still make tens of thousands. I mean, like still make tens of thousands. You can, invest. There are different ways by which you can, get yourself in the blockchain in a manner that is going to still make you a lot of money. Maybe it's not going to make you $1 million in 1 year, but it's going to make you some money in the year. And it's not going to also put you in a position like most people right now who bought all of these cryptocurrencies at overpriced, at overbought or overpriced levels, and now they're licking their wounds. Some of them are selling at the loss because they just cannot withstand it. Like inside they're draining. It's like blood is, oozing out of them. So how can you actually now invest in the blockchain, in a less risky way, in a manner that will give you peace of mind to sleep in the night, but also wake up tomorrow knowing that, whatever amount of money you've got there is hope that is going to grow. And not that you wake up tomorrow with a panic attack because, boom, it has gone down 70%, or 90% or 80%. So today, that is the goal, okay? I want to keep it very short because I know some of you will be having questions, and there are a few other things that I want to point you guys to. And also tell you guys, in every way that I describe, I would also give like some examples of maybe the companies that are involved and things and how you can position yourself to take advantage of it. Okay, so as we are going, again, please keep sharing the stream. Keep sharing the stream. We usually have many more than this that we have today, and obviously this is our first session for this new year. Now, that said, what is blockchain technology? What is the blockchain technology? Because the definition I've used here today is a very layman definition. So blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. Now, these words are very important. Impossible. It makes it very difficult. I mean, like extremely difficult, and almost impossible to change, to hack, to cheat the system. And so a blockchain, therefore, is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of a computer system. Now, trying to explain that, okay, the terminology blockchain, as you can see, there are two words that have made it up. You have block and then you have chain. Why? Because in this information that is being produced, you produce it in blocks, you see, and for you to validate the authenticity of that particular information in that block that you produce, you need to be able to look and validate the previous block that has been produced, you see. And so because you're going to be producing many and many and many more blocks as you continue to produce the information. I'm going to come. I know there's a question like what sort of information. As you continue to produce those blocks, it then forms a chain, you see. And so the longer the chain, the more difficult it becomes for you to hack that information, or for you to manipulate that information, or for you to change that information. Why? Because you would have to go back to the Genesis block, what we call the Genesis block, you see. And we know that the creator of the blockchain or crypto, Satoshi Nakamoto, whom nobody knows who he is or where he is anyway, he's still a mystery. He created the Genesis block. And from the creation of the Genesis block till now, there have been, hundreds of billions, if not trillions of different blocks that have been created. So imagine if you want to really cheat on the blockchain, you have to change, all of this data, all of these trillions of data that has been created or produced in the chain, you see. And so that makes it very difficult or nearly impossible. In fact, you would have to, I don't know how many years it's going to take you to be able to do that, you see. And so that is what the blockchain is. Now, why is the blockchain important? One, because it brings transparency. It brings transparency. In the past, information like this has always been held in the hands of a few companies, maybe like Google or maybe like the government. You see, financial informations, financial transactions, they've been held by very few, companies, individuals, and organizations. And so private individuals like you and myself, ordinary folks like you and I, we cannot see all of this information. And they use this information, manipulate it however they want to manipulate it, come out with data and show us that, okay, this is actually the truth, especially as concerns financial transactions. And so the blockchain today is really, really being celebrated because it's solving some of the, most challenging things that ordinary people have been tired of. For example, financial transaction. Okay. The blockchain has made it in such a way that you can be in the US, I can be here. If I want to send you money, I don't need to get up from my seat and go to Western Union. I don't need to get up from my seat and go to the bank, because then that transaction, there are so many middlemen in between. For example, if you go right now, most of you drink coffee, or at least you drink tea, or you eat chocolate or whatever. You go to buy your piece of chocolate and you take your credit card to go and buy it. Now, in the transaction, from the time the money leaves you and gets to the chocolate company or gets to the coffee company, it goes through, at least 3 different companies or 3 different firms or financial institutions. If you use a Visa card, Visa receives that information, then sends that information to your bank. Your bank receives that information and then communicates with the intermediary bank or the settlement bank between your bank and the recipient's bank. So that information, the settlement bank communicates with the recipient bank, then the transaction leaves, through Visa, from your bank account to, through the settlement bank to the recipient bank. And every single time that that transaction is going through, Visa takes its own fee, your bank takes its own fee, the settlement bank takes its own fee, and then it comes to your bank. If some of the banks, your receiving banks, they still take their own fee. And who pays at the end of the day? It's you. And so you see that the cost of that particular transaction increases over time. You see, you want to make a transaction of maybe $1,000. They're charging you, I don't know, $15 or $10 or whatever the case may be. And you're wondering, but why are they charging me? It's because they need to pay Visa, pay the settlement bank, keep a bit for themselves. So but with blockchain, I can just send you the money. Of course, there are transaction fees in the blockchain, but they're minuscule compared to, and there are no intermediaries. And because there are no intermediaries, the cost is relatively cheaper, you see. And this is why we are hailing the blockchain. And also, this is an open ledger, which means you can go on the blockchain, go on BlockCipher. If you go on BlockCipher, you can see the transactions that are taking place currently right now. If you go on Etherscan, you can see the transactions that are taking place on the Ethereum network. If you go on the BSC scan, you can see the transactions that are taking place on the Binance Smart Chain. You see, if you go on Solana, they've got their own scan. You can see all the transactions. So there is a lot of transparency. Your bank will not do that. Visa will not give you all that information. So this is why most people, like myself, I'm very, very optimistic and I'm very happy, about what is going on with the blockchain, because these other institutions, they will not give it to you, you see. And now blockchain is being implemented in our medical records, implemented in travel, implemented in basically everything, in real estate, how it is done. And it has created new opportunities. It has created, it is creating billionaires and millionaires at a faster pace than any other industry in human history. The blockchain is creating wealth and empowering people, at a faster rate and a faster pace than any other industry in human history. You see, this is a great moment for those of us who are alive. And this is why I am very passionate about it, very excited about it, and always like sharing with other people. Because I believe that if we truly grasp the opportunity that is before us using the blockchain, by the close of this decade, we would definitely wave bye-bye to financial difficulties, bye-bye to financial, lack and things like that. We will be celebrating absolute financial independence, not just financial independence, but financial abundance using the blockchain. But you need to be able to know how to play it safe, because if you just jump in without knowing how to play it safe, you're going to lose the little that you have, you see. And that is why we are here today. So that said, so these are the properties of a distributed ledger. You see, it is programmable, it is secure, it is anonymous, it is unanimous, it has a timestamp, it is immutable, and it is distributed. Now, simply put, let me just try to explain what we are looking at here. When information is produced, wherever it is originated, I can originate information in the blockchain. Now, for that information, to be accepted in the chain as genuine and authentic, there is what we call a network of computers. It's not just my computer. Otherwise, I can just wake up, produce any information and validate it on my own chain and say it is okay. No, it needs a network of computers. all over the world. In fact, as many note producers as are linked into that particular system, all of them have got to validate that that information is true before it is recorded as a new block on the blockchain. That is how powerful it is. Let me try to explain this in a different way. Now, think of a government or a company. All right, a company can wake up and produce information and say, okay, we've done this, and they are the only validators of that information. The government can wake up and say this, and the government is the only validator of that information. There are no other people, no other network. There is no network that helps to validate if that information is true. For example, now, then if I wake up now and I go on the blockchain and I say, okay, I have maybe transferred X amount of money from this wallet to that wallet. Now, it takes a whole network to confirm that that transaction is actually true. Now, in real terms, I'm sure you guys have probably heard what we call quantitative easing, which is the government just printing money in the economy, trying to solve their deficit and all their trouble. It cannot happen like that in the blockchain, you see, because if the government wakes up in the blockchain and says, okay, we want to print 1 trillion, everyone on that chain would, all the node holders on that particular chain would need to accept that this is actually a real value or a real value proposition before it can be produced. Otherwise, it will be, rejected as false. But the centralized governments will always just print it out and distribute it because it is centralized. Blockchain is decentralized, which means it's not only for one person to get up one morning and is feeling like, I don't know, Uncle Sam, and just print out some money and start distributing it with a heavy baton in their hands, saying, if you don't accept that this $1 is $1, will probably destroy your economy. It doesn't happen like that on the blockchain, you see. And this is why it is very, very important. And this is why it is trusted. And this is why even the governments themselves, they are switching to the blockchain because they've seen that this is where the people are going. This is where the masses are going. It gives the masses the peace of mind. But the truth is this: of all that is happening in the blockchain, less than 5% of the world's population is actually involved in the blockchain. Of all that you've heard, the buzz, the hype, the this and that, less than 5% of the world's population is actually involved in the blockchain. In fact, as of the close of 2021, December, it was recorded that less than 120 million people globally, less than 120, if to be very optimistic, let's just say around 130 million people globally actually had an involvement in the blockchain in one way or the other. Of this 120 million, less than 10 million were actually involved in the technology aspect. In fact, which means most of these other people, they are only buying crypto. They buy crypto here, they buy altcoin here, and this is the only thing they know about the blockchain, cryptocurrencies. Of the 10 million that are somehow involved in the technology and so on and so forth, less than 2 million actually, participate in determining the technology of the blockchain, or hold a piece of the foundations on which the blockchain is actually involved. So you can see how niche the market truly is. And you can also think into the future and see how great an opportunity there is as far as the blockchain is concerned. You see, and this is why I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate because by the time 50% of the world is going to be waking up to the opportunity that stares them in the face, to the time 3 billion people, 4 billion people are going to be involved in the blockchain. Those of us who have been there, when it was just a few or like 100 and something million. Think about the possibility or what it can actually become for you. You see, however, like I said before, you need to do it in a smart way. All right. So, the 5 less risky ways to invest in blockchain technology. Now, although there are many ways people invest in the blockchain, the uh, only one that 98% of the public invest in is cryptocurrencies. And that's true. The only one that people invest in is cryptocurrencies. However, cryptocurrencies are the most risky way of investing in the blockchain. Now, I know you'll be probably thinking, oh, but I can invest in Shiba Inu and make 1 million. Yes, you can. Same as you can invest in Shiba Inu and lose 1 million and have a heart attack to add to that. You don't just lose the money, but you lose it and you have a heart attack and you have high blood pressure and things like that. You see, when it comes to investment, primary thing you need to think of, how do you preserve your capital? How do you exit the opportunity? How sustainable is the opportunity? What is the integrity of the project or the opportunity and the people involved in it? And then what is your reward? And as well, your risk. You see. So today we'll explore 5 ways which you can invest in the blockchain, which are far more less risky than buying or trading cryptocurrencies. And primary, one of them is servers. Now, I cannot stress this enough. I cannot. In fact, for those of you who've been following me the past year, you know how much I stress about servers. And I'm sure right now that cryptocurrencies are as bloody as it can get. You're probably thinking, if I had known, I would have probably put 99% in servers than actually buy and hold cryptos. You see. So, one, servers. One of the best ways of investing in blockchain is by investing in the foundation on which the blockchain is built. Server companies like Masternode or Rental Chain, that build servers. The servers that they build run the nodes that secure the blockchain and that validate all the transactions on the blockchain. You see. And so when you're owning a server, think of a server as the rail lines. When you build the rail lines, you can have different rail companies coming in to use those rail lines. You see, you don't care whether it is Camrai, or if it is Northern Line in London, or if it is Eurostar in Europe that is running on that particular rail line. You don't care about that. You only know that whoever is using those rail lines is going to pay you money. Why? Because it is the foundation on which the trains run. So you don't care about the train. You don't care about who owns the train. You just care about the usage. All that matters to you is that anyone using your rail lines will pay you. Now, think also of servers as a toll gate, as the person who builds a toll gate. Like if you've traveled from the UK to Europe, and you to enter France, there are toll gates in France, and somewhere across Africa as well, there are toll gates, you see. So every time you go through that toll gate, you pay money. You pay money. That you don't even argue. It's automatically conditioned in your mind that when you're going through the toll gate, you pay money. You go, you pay, you come, you pay. You go 5 times, you pay 5 times. You come 5 times, you pay 5 times. This is what servers are to the blockchain. When you own the server, these transactions, the servers are customized with algorithms and nodes. These are the nodes that help in the validation of all the transactions in the blockchain, which means whenever a transaction is going out, a transaction is coming in, a transaction is being validated, rejected, whatever, consensus, governance, all of these things, every time they're happening, you're being paid a small amount of money. Now, what beats that? The risk is very, very small. I say very, very small compared to cryptocurrencies. Why? Because this is actually the foundation on which everything is built on. in the blockchain. So when you own the servers, you are like, in fact, you're not even the landlord, because you're the one who owns the land. When you own the land, whoever builds on the land will pay you rent on it. If you are both the landlord and you own the land, then the value of your property is way higher. Like in the West and in the US, you have what we call leaseholds. A leasehold means you don't own the land. It means you're only owning the property for a certain duration. You see, then you have what we call freehold. Freehold means you own the land and you own the property. Now that is better than a leasehold. But in either case, think of the servers as the land. The beginning of everything else on the blockchain is the servers. You see, so you can invest in one crypto, it can fail, but you don't care whether one cryptocurrency fails or it goes up or it comes down. With the servers, you still make money either way, because it is the foundation. And so, again, I still stress it. It is my number one method of investing in cryptos or in the blockchain. It is secure. The returns are not bad. The returns are not bad. With Masternode, you get between 3 to 7% every single month. Now, I'm telling you, this is an amazing return. Your bank, I don't care where the bank is in the world, the typical interest rate that you get in an African bank as an interest rate is between 1.5 to 2.5%. Now, inflation across Africa right now is between 3.8 and 6%. Inflation in the UK right now stands at 4.7%. In the US, it's even worse. It stands at 6%, which means you're actually losing money if you think about investing in the bank. Now, okay, you say the bank is really, really small. You're parking money there. Okay, good. You look at a hedge fund. Typical hedge funds return between 24 to 36% a year. 24 to 36% a year. That is a hedge fund. And the risk, of that particular hedge fund, there is a risk and you bear all the risk, but it's between 24 and 36% a year. With Masternode, between 3 to 7% every month, you beat the hedge funds like 4 or 5 times in a year. Last year, Masternode returned 97.04% in yields. 97.04. Let's just say 97%. In fact, that's like 100%. You see, nobody scratched their head, oh, our capital is down this month, up next month, and so on. No, none of that. None of that. Eliminated. Absolutely. Why? Because it's a technology. It's the foundation on which everything is built. It is going and coming in, you're making money. 97. For those who compounded, it was actually around 106%, depending on when you started compounding. You see, so it was really, really awesome, and it remains awesome even up to now. You see, so this is why I still say, look at the server again. If your server is small, top it up. You want to create cash flow. The server will give you cash flow. It gives you peace of mind. You can use the cash flow that comes in from the servers to begin to now take a lot more risk and buy in different cryptos and so on. You know what I've told you in the past. You get a solid server, you're getting your cash flow every single month. You take a piece of that and you're investing in small cryptos here and there. That is the best way to do it. It's the same thing I do. Now, so servers remain number one. I cannot stress it enough. I cannot overstress you owning your servers. Whatever you want to do in the blockchain space, whatever you want to do in the crypto space, make sure you own servers first. Make sure you own them first before anything else. Okay? Because when the cryptos will slap you, servers will comfort you. When the cryptos will mess you up, servers will give you a peace of mind. And this is, I said, like I made a post sometime, this is love, actually. Servers will show you love, when the times are hard. So, point number 2, another less risky way is by investing in stable yields. Now, stable yields is for cryptocurrencies that are stable. They have a fixed price with, a fixed price or a fixed value of exchange, with the dollar. For example, 1 USDT equals to $1. You see, so the rate is fixed. However, with the stable yields, you can take them and you stake them. By staking them, it's like you take them and you lend them out. Okay, so you buy it, you lend it out, and then they are paying you far more interest rates. So you get an interest rate of around 12% a year, not a month, 12% a year. Sometimes you get like 6%, 4%, 7%. It just depends the platform that you want to use to stake. In this way, this is actually good for people who are like so into, oh, I want to save my money, oh, I want to save my money, and all the nonsense, And so if you want to save money, this is a better way of saving money, because you can get up to 12% a year, and the value of your token, the value of your stable coins remains the same throughout the year. So if you have $100,000 and you want to go, you don't want to invest the 100,000 euros or dollars with, say, servers where you can get up to 90% in a year, like it was last year, then you can, put it in a stable yield. You buy USDT and you stake the USDT, or you buy it and you lend it out, okay? And you get 12% in a year. That is still way better than getting 0.1% as the banks in England are giving. I wonder why people even take that thing, than getting 0.1% in a bank, or even getting 5% in a bank, which is impossible. Like in our times, it is impossible, you see. So stable yields are all there. The coins are stable. There is no volatility, but obviously you get a higher interest rate compared to the banks, you see. It is way safer, a way or a method of investing in the blockchain. That is another way. Okay. So one, you have servers, my ultimate best. Then you have stable yields. This is for like very conservative people, So at least you get far better interest rates. The third one is pre-ICO sales or early investors. Now, this one can make you a lot of money. I mean, like, it is way safer than people actually imagine. After servers, this is the next best for me. After servers is this one, early investors. Now, how this works is this. When a project is coming up in the crypto community or in the blockchain, the project people are always looking for early investors, people who see into the vision of that project, people that can put in some decent amount of money. The only disadvantage is you need, some money, like typically an average of at least $5,000 to get in on this. But typically it's around $25,000, you see. But let's just say 5,000. You need at least $5,000 to get in on these kind of opportunities. I like these ones. Why? Because by the time you get in on, on the pre-ICO of those coins, or you get in as an early investor, you typically make between 200 to 500% before those tokens even get to an exchange. Think about that. You make between 200 to 500% before they get to an exchange. For example, some of you know of Solana. Pre-ICO, Solana was selling for, I think, 0.8 cents, 8 cents, 8 cents per one Solana, 8 cents for one Solana. Pre-seed or early investors, they got in on Solana at 3 cents. I hope you're listening to what I'm saying. Pre-seed, they got in at 3 cents for Solana. The value of Solana right now is like 160 something, $67 for one Solana. What kind of ridiculous percentage profit is that? You think about that. Think about that. That's a lot of money. In fact, the percentage is ridiculous. Why? Because they were there as an early investor. There have been some great projects right now that have been very privileged, to be in as an early investor. Some of these, if you just get your 5,000 and you put it there, by the time it gets even to public sales stage 1. Okay, let me read what I wrote just so that, maybe it opens your minds up a little bit. Okay. So the most profitable investors in cryptocurrencies are those who invest in a project before there is even an ICO or public sale. These people usually make between 200 to 500% of their capital or even more before the public round of any funding. So, for example, early investors can get in on an investment deal at 0.01 cents per token. Before that token gets to private sale, the value would typically be around 0.03 cents per token. That is already 200%. By the time the same token gets to round 2 of public sale, it would be around 0.05 cents. That is how many percent? Almost 500% return. And by the time it gets to an exchange, the token would typically be trading at 0.08 cents or even 10 cents. Think about that. They've made their money back 3, 5 to 10 times before the coins hit the exchange. And by the time it hits the exchange, because of the euphoria, poof, you just see it rising, And so these people, they can then typically just sell, for me, I just want to at least break even. As soon as I break even, leave the rest there. So you put your 5,000 there, you take the 5,000 out. This is why somebody can say, oh, I put in 5,000 in a cryptocurrency and I made 1 million. They didn't go to buy it on the exchange and made 1 million. No. Typically, they buy it on pre-sale, on seed sale before it even gets to public round, before it gets to the first public round, second public round, and by the time it gets to the exchange. So people like that, think of people who bought Solana. If you put $5,000 in Solana as a seed sale on 3 cents, how much would you have made? That's a ridiculous amount of money you would have made, you see. So this is also another safer way by which you can invest. You see, this is another safer way by which you can invest. And this one is the most profitable. Ask anybody who knows this route of investment. The only unfortunate thing is this. Most people, they never get the opportunity unless you are a core member of the community before you know of these things. Typically, most people only want to hear about it on the ICO stage. Most people hear about this when it is on public sale. And the thing is, on public sale, most projects, they never sell more than 10% of all the coins or all the tokens, you see. So the people that are there, the people that have this information, the people that have this information beforehand, they typically make a great amount of money, you see. So this is also like after, obviously, like not all the projects make it anyway. And there are many scams around, some of these projects like this, you see, and they disappear, So, but there are legit ones and there are good ones that are actually building infrastructure and doing things. By the end of today, there is one that I'm currently involved with, which I'm very excited. Some of you that are close to me, you probably know of it. I've told you briefly. The seed sale, that is like the early investor stage, is going to start next month. And I have been privileged, I have the opportunity to bring 20 people, maximum 20 people. And these people, they've got to be whitelisted. It's by whitelist. Sometimes I can bring the 20 people. On that day, if the people are not fast enough even to go in, they know you can have your money. You can have 100,000 even. And you go to buy, you will not be able to succeed. You see, because these are the hottest opportunities. These are the best ways, the best methodologies ever to invest in crypto. You see. So, but anyway, I'll talk about that briefly towards the end. Point number 4, index cryptos. Now, index cryptos are cryptocurrencies that track the performance of a niche or group of cryptocurrencies. So by buying an index coin or token, you are buying all the cryptocurrencies that are in that index. For example, we have the Metaverse Index, you see, which is an ERC token, ECR token, that tracks the performance of all Metaverse tokens like Decentraland, Axie Infinity, Gala, Sandbox, etc. So this is much safer than buying all these tokens individually, you see. Now, when you buy an index token or an index crypto, it gives you the opportunity to diversify. You know, diversification is key. You see, if you buy an index crypto, we have an NFT index crypto, we have a metaverse index crypto. These are the two that I'm currently following up right now because these are the two plays that are very hot, you know, moving into this decade. So with this kind of index cryptos, they give you, is like a basket. You see, when you buy the index, you're buying a basket of cryptos. For example, if you buy the Metaverse Index, you're buying into Decentraland, Axie Infinity, Gala, Sandbox, you know, Network, all of the metaverse plays or metaverse projects. You're actually buying all of them when you buy the Metaverse Index. So this is also safe. It is less risky than maybe just buying one token because, say for example, you go and buy Gala and Gala goes bust, you know, then you've lost all the money. But if you buy the index, Decentraland needs to go bankrupt or go bust, Axie Infinity needs to go bust, Gala needs to go bust, Sandbox needs to go bust, Network needs to go bust, and all of the other plays, they need to go bust. You see, so indexes, at least they give you, you know, a bit of security. They're a bit safer than actually buying the cryptocurrencies themselves. And then finally, we have hodling the majors. Hodling the majors. Now, believe it or not, one of the safest ways, you know, even though the risk is very high, is by buying and holding the two major cryptocurrencies. Why? Buying and holding, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I'm particular about Ethereum. Why? Because it is the foundation on which most of blockchain applications, decentralized applications, you know, decentralized exchanges are built on. Most projects are built on Ethereum, at least as layer 0. You see, most projects are built on it. You see, so it is always much, you know, it is safer, therefore, if you buy Ethereum. But the problem is how many people will be able to come up with 3,200 or 4,000 something to buy one Ether or one ETH, you see. So, but buying it and holding it for the long term is also okay. I mean, for the long term, because if you're buying it to make money tomorrow, please just better put it somewhere else. So you need to, if you're buying this once, you know, okay, you're buying it to keep it for a very long time, you see. For me, I don't typically like holding cryptos. I use ETH and BTC only for transactional purposes. But for the purpose of this, it is still okay. You know, it's okay to buy them and to hold them. And Bitcoin is particularly interesting because there are just 21 million Bitcoins. Just 21 million Bitcoins, you see. And imagine this, less than 5% of the world population is actually involved in crypto. So what about the time when 50% would be involved? Because it's going to happen. What will be the value of Bitcoin? What will be the value of Ethereum? Also, what will be the value of the cryptocurrency projects that you get in on as an early investor? Think about that. So, with that said, there are many other ways, you know, that you can invest safely. Instead of maybe investing directly in cryptocurrencies, you can buy companies that are involved in cryptocurrencies. You know, I mean, like stocks. For example, if you want to maybe dabble a little bit into the metaverse, you can buy, you know, companies or shares from companies like Facebook or Meta. You can buy Google, you can buy Apple, you can buy Microsoft, because these are big companies that are involved in Meta or in the metaverse, you see. So those are some other ways you can look at, you know, crypto stocks They are also risky as well, maybe a little bit less risky than cryptos, but nonetheless they are risky. So these are some of the ways that you can play it. So I hope you've been able to get some value out of this. So what I do personally for the benefit of this presentation, I do all the above, with more focus on the service and early investment options. I don't hold the majors, like I said before. I use them for transactional purposes only. However, you yourself, you can choose what is going to work best for you. You see, that is always the essence. That is always the purpose of presentations like this, to give you something to chew on, something to think on, and for you to decide, how you want to do it. Okay. That said, I think we are actually coming up to the top of the hour, and I believe you guys have learned something. Now I'm going to take some questions, and so if you do have any question, please just leave it in the comment, post it in the comment. We're going to discuss the question. We're going to look at it and explore it together. I hope you guys got something. But did you guys get something? Please just let me know. Feedback. Let me know, if you actually learned something. Put something in the comment. Let me know if you actually learned something and if this session has been valuable to you. I believe it's been valuable. But let me hear what you guys think. What do you guys think about the session? So the 5 ways, always remember. Let me just recap on the 5 ways. 1, service, my best, and the one that personally I go in with my head, my toes, my everything. Service, we have stable yields, still okay for those people who just want to keep money, you get better returns. And then you have pre-ICO, my second best, in fact, this has made me more money than servers, just to be clear. This has made me a lot of money than servers. There was one play on this particular one where I started with just like $16,000 and eventually got at like $420,000. So it's really, really good. This has made me a lot more money. But I like servers because the returns are also very great. They are stable. They are calm. I don't need to be thinking about, what is going on here? What is happening there? And I still get good returns. I get a good cash flow coming in. Get good cash flow coming in. I can use the cash flow, diversify my portfolio. And that is one thing I like, And then number 4, obviously, we have index cryptos, like I did explain, a basket of cryptos. And then we have hodling the majors. So that's it. Okay, about the pre-ICO sales. All right. Yes, there is a project, that I'm privileged to be a part of. I've made some hints, about it. It's going to be great. It's an indomitable. Oops, I was almost giving it out. But anyway, it's an NFT and an NFT opportunity. It's going to be an NFT platform and a metaverse platform. So starting with the NFTs, we're going to run some NFTs about some very popular names. You definitely know them in football. I will name a few just so that you understand. Samuel Eto'o, being a part of that. We also got Roger Miller, Jeremy Jeter, Didier Drogba, Josh Weah. So it's going to be an amazing, phenomenal NFT play, which I would definitely recommend, for you guys. The pre-sale is going to start next month. Like I said, I've got 20 spots. I have a few left if you're interested, but you would need a minimum of $5,000 and a maximum of $25,000. Okay. Again, you can have the money and on that day you will not even be able to buy. Yeah, I'm just being honest with you, because the traction for it is too great. It's too great. With this pre-seed, they are not looking to raise much money. They're looking only to raise like 1-point-something million, which is absolutely nothing. We've actually got a couple of people saying they want to give all the money. They're like, no, We want many people to also participate in it. So that is the play. But if you want to be part, if you want to invest in it, you need to talk, with me separately, either through WhatsApp or whatever means of communication you have to reach me. You need to be able to do that. So that said, it's one that I would definitely recommend because the names that are behind it, the CTO is awesome. His work with Elon Musk. The CTO of the project is work with Elon Musk, and he's done a lot of great things across Africa, the US, and Canada. So it is a project that I'm super, super excited about. Super, super, super excited. I did promise some people that I was going to bring great opportunities to them. I secured 20 spots. Obviously, for those of you who know, there's quite a lot of people vying in for that. But do let me know if you're interested. Who knows? Who knows? On that day, maybe you can have your money and you can actually go through. But I will communicate the date as the date approaches. But you need to have the funds either in BTC, BNB, which is Binance, BNB, I think Ethereum as well, and Solana. So these are the four currencies that you may you would need to participate in. Any of them, not all, any of them. So minimum $5,000, maximum $25,000. So it's up to you guys then to decide. Okay, so thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Please just let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I would like to hear your thoughts. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Lawson. For your feedback. Definitely great to hear that it's it's been of value to you. At least I know I'm not wasting my time. All right, guys. So I'll just give it a few more minutes. If there are no other maybe questions or stuff, I think we are good to end the session for today. So you've been a wonderful audience. It's the beginning of a new year. I wish you guys an amazing year. Let's make this year count. Let's build on the momentum, from 2021. Let's build on the success from 2021, and let's make 2022 the best year so far. So thank you guys very much, and I wish you all the very best. Probably it's a lot of work now this year. Things are picking up, things are growing, but I will try as much to be doing these sessions at least every 2 weeks. Weekly is going to be quite challenging now because there's quite a lot of workload, but at least every 2 weeks I will try to do it. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful day, and I wish you guys the very, very best. Goodbye, guys.